Yep. All right, so we are officially on here. All right, so yeah, we live
Excellent.
now. We live. Got some family in the house here. My man Rob from Xploitation Reviews. Welcome.
What's up? Thanks for having me on again. It's
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
while.
Been a minute. Yeah, been a minute. Last time I had a full black beard. Now I have a couple of grays coming in. Brother
Right?
getting kind of old, man.
Yeah, it
So
happens to all of us. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and congrats, bro, on 4K subscribers, man. That's
Oh,
what's
thanks,
up.
man.
Yeah, that's a hell of a milestone.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
working towards that 5K now.
Yes, sir. Well, I
It'll be a,
think you.
it'll be a bit, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, now it could be sooner than you know, man. Because I think you're one of the only channels that I know of that covers exploitation films, not just black exploitation, but like just the obscure films that a lot of us haven't heard of or have
Right,
forgotten
right.
about. You know what I mean? So yeah, you shine a light on a lot of forgotten films. You know what I mean? So
That's the goal. Yeah, get people to
yeah,
watch like, stuff that's disappearing. Yeah.
right, right. Okay, so yeah, I had to have you on today because, like I said, you cover a lot of obscure films, a lot of exploitation films, and this film's not really exploitation, so to say. It is a major studio
Mhm.
production, but it does have a cult following because it's not really not a lot of people talk about Planet of the Apes unless you're like a real sci-fi nerd. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and what really motivated me to watch this series is because I'm a big fan of the Caesar trilogy. So
Yeah. Me too.
Rise, Dawn, and War, I
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely love. Probably my second favorite trilogy ever behind the original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, yeah, I think I would say the same thing. I love those
Right,
movies too. Yeah. Mhm.
right. So I said,
Yeah.
let me
And I
go.
love these old ones as well. So overall, like the Planet of
Yeah,
the Apes series is really solid. Yeah.
yeah. So I was intrigued. I said I've never seen the OG series. I would see clips here and there because my father would watch them. But I
Mhm.
remember my father always saying, "Yeah, the first one was good, but the rest of them were kind of weird, man. If you watch any of them, just watch the first one. Don't watch the rest of them."
Right. Yeah. I mean, the first one is like, I mean, that is the classic one.
Hmm.
It's excellent. But there's a couple other ones in the old series that I like a lot. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
have you watched them yet, or are you still working through?
still working through them. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so far I watched. So I watched this one, and I did watch the sequel. And oh boy, yeah, the Beneath the Planet. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about
Mhm.
that one. Oh
Yeah,
my
next week.
goodness,
Yeah.
that's next week. Yeah, that's next week.
Right. Yeah.
That was an experience. That was an experience. And by the way, I'm wearing the hoodie here. I'm not trying to be thugged out or nothing. I haven't shaved my head, so
Oh,
when
okay.
when my hair starts coming in, I really look my
Mm,
age. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm trying to hold on to my youth as as much as I can.
I
Yeah,
always go online in costume. Yeah.
right,
So
right.
I get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. My fake glasses and silly hat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it looks cool though. It looks cool. People look at me like, "Are you trying to look like Tupac from Juice?" No, I haven't shaved my head. Go for that early '90s Tupac look. All right, so yeah, today we're covering Planet of the Apes. So this was directed by Franklin J. Schaffner, if I'm saying that right. I don't know his other work. I just know this one.
Yeah. I don't know
Um,
his other stuff either. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, and it's starring the legendary Charlton Heston, Roddy McDowell, who I know from Class of 1984. That's the first thing I
Right.
seen him in, and he
Yep.
was Peter Vincent in Fright Night. So those are
Right.
the
Yep.
main things I know him for. So yeah, Roddy McDowell, Maurice Evans, Kim Hunter, James Whitmore, James Daly, and Linda Harrison. All right,
Right.
so
And we should also mention the script was written by Rod Serling, the
yes,
creator and writer of many of the original Twilight Zone episodes.
really okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, T
Yeah.
Virus
Yeah.
Terrence, what's up, fam? Been a minute. What's going on, bro? All right, man. Happy to have you on too, man. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, coming into this, my expectations were okay. This is 1968, cheesy, slow, dated, But I said, okay, I just want to get a little something out of this, and I gotta say, I was very impressed by this film. Like,
Hmm.
I put myself in the mindset of somebody back then that hasn't seen it, right? So
Right. Yeah.
we're going to spoilers here too, by the way. So that twist at the end was like,
Oh, yeah.
wow. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's really amazing,
Yeah.
and it's really unfortunate that so much like box art over the years has spoiled that ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my old DVD I had, that was the cover of the DVD, like that final scene. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And it's been parodied so many times too, like, you know, the damn you, God damn you all to hell, and you're damn dirty, you know. So even if you haven't seen it, you know those lines. Yeah.
You blew it all up, you bastards, or whatever he says. Yeah.
What's
it's
up,
great.
Mike?
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? Happy
Hey,
to have
Mike's
you
here. What's up, man?
Yeah. So the plot of it, ship crash lands on this so-called planet, this new planet. Okay, Charlton Heston and his crew, they get out and they look around. Okay, this looks kind of like Earth, but then they come across these humanoid apes that walk and speak as humans, but they're apes.
Right.
And they're comprised
ride
of
horses, shoot guns.
horses,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So you got the orangutans, which are the smart apes, and then you have the gorillas, who are like the soldiers and enforcers, and then the chimpanzees are like the smart ones, the scientists.
Right. Yeah.
And,
the orangutans are also like the spiritual leaders of the community. Yeah.
Right. Led by what's his name? Dr. Zayas, I think his name was.
Zayas.
Dr. Zayas. Yeah. So yeah, they come across these apes, and oh my God, talking apes. Like, what planet are we on?
Right.
You'll find out 2 hours later.
Right. Which, I mean, it really isn't. It shouldn't be a surprise, because how else could they learn to speak English?
Right. Yeah. But you know what, Rob, I had to laugh too, because okay, I know they're supposed to be apes, right? But you notice like they're walking, they're trying to like hunch over, and like they're trying to walk ape-like, but it's like, dude, it's okay. You're not selling that. But I kept saying it's 1968.
Right. Yeah.
It's 1968. Okay, but you can stop all this. Just walk regular. Okay.
Just do it regular.
Yeah. Just walk regular. Yeah. You're not going to sell the illusion. You know. Yeah.
With some of the background apes, especially, they kind of ham it up a bit much. But I like the. I mean, Roddy McDowall. I think he's great in the ape makeup. I like his mannerisms, and I like the way he speaks. And he gets better like throughout the series. Like. So I think his ape performance is really impressive.
Yeah, and the wife too. What was her name? Zira, I think her name was.
Zira, right? Yep.
Zira, yeah. I like the chemistry between them, and they were like the only. I don't want to say likable, but they were the only ones that was on the side of the humans. You know, like they studied them. And they were like test subjects, and then when they come across Charlton Heston, they're like, oh my God, he's fascinating. You know, and then when they found out that he can talk. A talking human, like what in the world? So it's Rise of the Apes, but in reverse, you know. You know what I mean? And what do you think about Charlton Heston's performance? Do you think he was good in the lead?
Yeah, I mean, I like Heston, but I mean, with me, I mean, I like him, but he always seems like he's acting, though, which, I mean, for like a genre film like this, like a sci-fi thing, I think it works out okay, because he is charismatic and he's fit, and he's a nice looking guy. But I don't think he's like a great actor. He doesn't disappear into a role like the way that, you know, like Gordon does or something. Yeah. But I think it works. Like for this, it works. I like it just fine.
Yeah, it was a good lead. You know, you believe that he can kick some ass. You know.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that physicality.
Yeah, the physical. But here's the thing, though. So I mean, I know this is sci-fi. This is, you know, a movie, but I'm like, come on. If those were really apes, like a gorilla, a gorilla body, you know what I mean? A gorilla has a strength of like 20 men. They can bench press over 2,000 pounds.
Yeah,
there's no way that Charlton Heston can lock up with a gorilla and it's an even fight.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, okay, suspend disbelief. Okay, the fact that they're able to. So I guess as they got smarter, as they evolved, I guess their strength diminished. So they elevated in intelligence, but they disappeared in strength.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's maybe better not to think about it too much.
Right.
I mean, some of this suspension of disbelief you'll have to do more of in some of the coming movies, where there are some things that like just really make no sense at all. But you're like, okay, but if you just put it aside, then you can enjoy the spectacle. And I think that's what this movie is too. It's like a really fun spectacle. Like the costumes are great, the makeup is great, the action scenes are great. I love how they're like filmed kind of like handheld, and it looks sort of chaotic, like you're right there in the tall grass running with humans. Like, really well done.
Oh yeah, the cinematography was amazing. Like especially the beginning when they first crash land, you see them, exploring the planet. So I watched this on my wall with the projector, so I saw this like big screen, and it was beautiful looking. I said, "This is a beautiful looking movie, man."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Action wise, not a lot of action here.
No, not a lot. I mean, it is or was a relatively low budget thing, and it is the 60s. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a couple of shootouts, but I realized it was not PG, it was G. I'm like, so I guess they really rated things different back then, because I'm watching this. You see a couple of people get shot. You see some blood. I believe somebody got shot in the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and they like lobotomized the one guy, and you can see that big scar in his skull, and like he can't speak anymore. Yeah, that's pretty brutal for a G.
Yeah. I'm like, gee, and especially the next one, which we're gonna get to. There were some things in the next one. I'm like, there's no way this is G rated, man. But then again, Jaws was PG, and you see you see the leg get actually bitten off.
But Jaws was, and this one too, of course, were before the PG-13. I think PG-13 was introduced in the 80s, I think, right?
84. I think Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie. 84. Yeah, so back then it was just G, PG, rated R, and X.
Right,
But I'm like, probably should have been PG, because you even see like naked apes. They're like naked.
Right, and you see, isn't Heston naked too? Like at some point.
Like, well, in the beginning when they're swimming, they're skinny dipping. Yeah, so you see everything.
And isn't he naked when they don't they hose him down when he's in his cell?
Yeah.
Yep,
lot of crack.
Yeah, that's true. Some Heston crack. Yeah. But he's in good shape, whatever.
Right. Well, that's what
better him than me.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, yeah. Definitely don't want me taking my clothes off. But and I thought that was funny too, is with the apes, right? So when they have their clothes on, their clothes like tight fitted, they look like regular humans. But it's funny when there's a scene when they're in the sauna and they have like the full ape costume on, they look a lot bigger. So I said, so do the clothes actually like shrink them to regular size, or when they take it off, it's like
compresses the fur?
Yeah, compresses the fur. Like you see the orangutan titties and everything, and just fur all over the place. I'm like, he wasn't that big just a scene ago.
Suspension of disbelief.
Man. And I can't. And how could I forget Nova? Like Nova was beautiful.
Yeah, she was a hottie for sure.
She was a hottie, yeah.
In the original script, the female humans were all supposed to be topless, but then the studio said, "No way! Like we won't let you do that." So then they had to, cover them up with some animal skins or whatever. Yeah.
Now, did they ever explain in the movie how they got like that? Because I know late, like in the Caesar trilogy, it was because the simian flu evolved into where they took away their ability to speak. Did they mention that in this movie, how they got that way?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think they mentioned that. Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm trying to think if in any of I think in one of the sequels, I think they'll mention something about it. But I don't remember. I have to rewatch it. I think maybe in the last movie, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, I think there's maybe something about that.
Because there's not a lot of exposition here. There's just mostly just what's the name of the movie? Taylor is just Taylor figuring out what the hell is going on. So nothing's really explained. And And they even have their own like religion. They have their own god ape that they pray to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean it was a very interesting watch, man. And of course the 2001 movie is a remake of a shot for shot pretty much remake of this one, just
right,
the Tim Burton version. So as I was watching it, some things were new to me, but then some things was like, okay, this is in the Tim Burton movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the Tim Burton one, they gave that famous line, like the "Get your damn hands off me, you dirty ape" or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't I think? Yeah, I think an ape character says that in the Tim Burton movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't remember who it was. Maybe it's Michael Clark Duncan's like gorilla character. I'm not sure.
You know what? I've only watched that movie once. I've only seen
me too in the theater.
Yeah, opening week, and I never watched it again.
Yeah. I might have watched it one time since, but I don't really care for it very much.
Yeah, I think because like the shock already happened. Like the way this movie ended, it was like like it's hard to kind of remake that and then expect the same kind of reaction. Like, oh my God, they were on Earth the whole time. Like, motherfuckers already knew that,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so when they did the whole twist where you see Tim Roth's character is like Abraham Lincoln or whatever, you're like, whatever.
And I didn't get it. Like when I first saw it in the theater, I was like, wait, what? Like, how did this happen? Like, I didn't understand. And then it was only later that like maybe read an article on the internet or whatever explaining like how the time things are happening in that movie, but that was not clear to me at all. Yeah, a little too brainy for me.
Yeah, well, you know what,
like that.
And okay, I was mentioning how there was like little exposition here, but the filmmaker was so good, like you almost didn't care. So in today's times, like you make a movie like this, you have to have a whole bunch of exposition. You have to have so many scenes explaining why this is, why that is. And I think it takes away from the mystique of movies. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have to leave things to our imagination. 'Cause I'm pretty sure when people watched it, their minds are racing. Okay, how the hell did this happen? And your imagination sometimes can be scarier than what they actually show you on the screen. So, filmmakers take notes. You don't have to explain everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like not knowing much in this movie because then it's you're in the same position that Taylor is, Charlton Heston. Like he doesn't know what's going on. I mean, he's just and I like kind of having a movie from a character's perspective like that.
And do you think the writers let me see, I'm choosing my words carefully here. Do you think were the writers going for, because like you said, this is 68, so this is during the civil rights time, and so do you think this was on some, let's reverse it, okay, what if we saw white people as slaves and black people were the oppressors, you know what I'm saying? And the black people comes in the forms of these apes, you know what I mean?
I never saw it that way. I mean, for one, it's based on a French novel, which they weren't part of the civil rights movement in America at all. They're over here in Europe. And then for two, the original screenplay by Rod Serling, I mean, he did like to put some political stuff into his show, like Twilight Zone and whatever. But he was like a very left-wing, liberal guy. And a lot of the politics that he did put into the Twilight Zone was against racism, against, sexism and whatever. And he just like disguised it all as a science fiction story. But yeah, so I can't imagine like, a left-wing liberal guy like Serling doing that.
Right.
I mean, especially since it's not even an American story to begin with. It's a French story.
Yeah.
I never saw it as like a racial thing at all.
No, definitely. I'm glad the reboot films got me interested to see the original ones. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, go back and watch the OGs. Just remember it's late 60s, early 70s. So you have to be very, very forgiving.
Yeah. And if you like the new series, like the Caesar trilogy,
Yeah.
The Caesar trilogy, in all three of them, they take a lot of plot points and characters and story development from some of these old movies after the first one. So,
right. Yeah, well, I was looking out for some of the names, because only name that I recognized was Cornelius, which is Roddy McDowall plays him, and in the Caesar trilogy, Cornelius is Caesar's youngest son.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I was looking out for like Maurice and Rocket and Koba.
Yeah, Koba. He will be. I think he's in Battle for the Planet of the Apes. He's
really.
like
So there's actually a Koba character.
Yeah, he's like the villain. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like a lot of the. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. That has a lot of elements that show up later in the Caesar trilogy.
Nice.
And also, I think the third one, Conquest for the Planet of the Apes. That's like the Revolution one, and then some of that storyline shoes up in the second of the Caesar movies.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait then. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna be like Leo. I'm gonna be like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like, ooh, that's from Dawn.
I know that. I know that story part.
Yeah.
I know that character. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the things I like about the Caesar trilogy is you can tell that the writers, they were fans of like the old ones,
Right.
Which is nice.
Yeah. And definitely like, I definitely don't want to make it like, like I said, a race thing and nothing like that. Like, because I like to try to observe everything when I watch movies. Like, how does this relate to real life? And I'm just watching. I'm like, because usually when you have an oppressor, you have an oppressed. Usually the oppressor is somebody that they don't understand the oppressed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like when Charleston Heston crash lands there. Okay, the shit is flipped to where how is he? Because the humans are pretty much animals. So how is he an animal, but he can talk? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what is this all about? So because I don't understand this, I'm going to imprison them and cage them up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting to understand, who these people are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kind of like parallel to, our history, where I feel like because, a lot of times, when you misunderstand a race or a culture, you don't understand it. You hate it for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, even though you don't need to. So I kind of got that out of this, you know what I'm saying? And I guess, in Taylor's mind, I'm pretty sure he was thinking like, damn, is this how he treated black folks back where I'm from?
Maybe,
Hey, he would have came back to earth a different man. Like, let's not do this anymore. Let him ride on the front of the bus. No more segregation.
So, I mean, definitely in the third movie. Wait, is it the third? So there's Beneath, Escape, Conquest, the third one. There's definitely some sort of revolutionary kind of racial undertones in that film, like for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Because in that film, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but just the premise of the movie is the apes are enslaved and a leader comes to kind of break them out of bondage. And there's definitely some of those things happening in that film. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, from what you're telling me, it sounds like I'm going to be hating my own kind, which is the human species, because
maybe a little bit, yeah.
Like Rob, whenever I watch an X-Men movie, whenever I watch the X-Men or the Planet of the Apes, I cannot stand Homo sapiens. I don't like us.
Yeah. We do some terrible things. Yeah.
Oh man. So when you watch this one, you almost want to think like, well, damn, who should we be rooting for?
Right.
Because typically, on regular Earth, Taylor would be the one holding the monkey by the leash, like, get in there, you stupid monkey. But now the shit's reversed. Now the monkey's saying like, get your dirty Homo sapien ass in there. So it's like, damn, who am I supposed to be rooting for here? Like, who's who's the protagonist? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the bad? Because even among the apes, Dr. Zaius was really a villain, right? He was just kind of.
I mean, yeah, he kind of, but then you find out later that he really is just trying to protect his community from going down the path that humans went down before,
Right.
Because he's aware of what do they call it? In the Forbidden Zone, is that what it's called? And
Yeah,
they
I
have
think it's
like
called the
those,
Forbidden Zone. Yeah.
yeah, they have like those archaeological digs where they've uncovered past human society and then learned that their technology is what ended them, or at least put them in this horrible state. So then, so now the orangutans are like they're working against developing technology, like saying that flight is impossible, and they're like the keepers of the faith, but also the working against like advanced technology and stuff. But I think it's like because he knew that could end badly for them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, because this takes place in the future, but they still live
Right.
like primitive. They just ride
Right.
horse. They have like no electricity or nothing. Everything is real primitive. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure how they made guns because that requires some relatively advanced skills, but whatever.
yeah. Like you said, suspend disbelief.
Yep.
It's still a movie.
I guess. I mean, when did humans invent? I mean, I guess humans had guns like in the Revolutionary War and stuff.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
But not automatic weapons though. Like what were there
No,
automatic weapons in this movie?
I
No, they
don't
were
know if
all just
they're
like shotguns,
automatic.
right? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but they look like relatively modern, like
Mm-hmm.
rifles or whatever. But
Right.
maybe that's all the prop department could afford,
Yeah, but you know what? Hey, philosophically, I can't blame them for thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you know that technology is the demise of mankind, then okay, yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah,
So
we're not doing that. Yeah.
I mean, I
Keep
wish
it
we could
simple.
take
Yeah.
I wish we take notes because you look at today's time, everything's leaning towards AI, right? AI is
Right.
and I'm like, has nobody seen the Terminator movies?
Yeah, exactly. Like we
At
don't want to
least
go
one and
there.
two.
It's like,
Yeah. AI is no
yeah.
good. Okay, if you ever seen the Terminator movies, have you seen Age of Ultron? No good.
No good. No good. Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole thing too. The AI
Right.
stuff. Yeah. I mean, yeah, what a sad world where,
Yeah.
machines get to go do cool stuff like produce art and poetry, and humans have to, flip
Right.
burgers. Like, well, that's not cool. Like, let's
Yeah.
do it the other way. I want to sit home and paint, have a
Right.
machine cook all the food.
Yeah. Well, they even have AI songs now. They have like AI
Yeah.
written and produced songs. So you listen to a song like that sounds good. Yeah, that's all AI.
Yeah,
Fuck out of
it's
here.
it's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
scary, man. It's
Yeah.
scary. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess as a tool, if you use it right, you know what I mean? It can be a benefit, you know what I mean? But you already know how Homo sapiens are, man. We can take something that's a perfectly good tool and then we exploit it, and next thing you know, Skynet.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It better
Yeah,
just to watch movies and forget about some of these
exactly.
things.
Well, soon we're gonna have AI written scripts, AI produced, directed movies that have no flaws and no, how as
Yeah.
critics we always say like, well, hey, there was a plot hole here. Like, imagine watching a film where there was zero like flaws, like no plot holes. Everything was explained. Like there's nothing like AI is taking all our information, right? And then they're saying, okay, we can't do this, this, and this. We have to make it. And you watch the perfect movie. And it's
Right.
like, but I want to, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this will happen, at least to any great extent, because a really great thing that the U.S. Did recently, where they said that works produced by AI cannot be copyrighted.
Right.
Which is great because that means if Hollywood uses an AI script, it's a public domain script. Anyone could make that movie again if they wanted to.
Okay.
And I don't think Hollywood will want to give away all of their intellectual property to the public domain, so they won't use AI to write their scripts.
Okay. That's
So
what's up.
that was a very good development. Yeah.
That's that's cool. Yeah. So I mean,
gotta protect human artists. Yeah.
Exactly. But we used to take notes from these apes, though, man. Let's go back to being primitive and leave technology alone if we want to stay here longer.
That's right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like I think we kind of covered almost everything about this movie, man. From cinematography, the score, I thought the score, worked. Yeah. So I mean, as far as like, well, the gripes I have with this movie have to do with the time this movie came out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when the mouths move, the words not synced up with. Okay, that's to be expected. Some of the obvious, bad effects. But like I said, so my flaws I'm gonna kind of push to the side because I keep saying it's 68. But overall, I had a great time with this movie. Kind of like with the Caesar trilogy, it kind of has that same kind of feel. You know what I mean? So yeah, if I give it a grade, I give it a B plus. Yeah, I'll give it a B plus, but borderline A. Yeah,
right on. Yeah,
yeah. So anything else you want to add about what you think about the movie? Anything you didn't like about it, or anything you want to highlight?
Anything to highlight? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we've talked about the set design, but I'm a big fan of the set design, like the houses that they have, and where they look kind of like. I mean, they don't look natural because they're constructed, but they do sort of like blend into the environment better than like our houses do, which I thought was really cool. And I like the costumes, even aside from the ape makeup. I like their costumes a lot. So yeah, just the whole look of the thing, I think, was really creative. It looks great.
Yeah, the set design almost reminded me of Bedrock.
Yeah, that might have been one of the inspirations. Yeah, kind of like Stone Age kind of style.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what's his name? The Cinemassacre guy, James Rolfe. He's a huge fan of the Apes movies, and he has a video on his channel where he went to where they filmed it and tried to find some of the locations that are in the movie, which is pretty cool. He found some of the spots where they filmed some of the movie that's still around like today, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the sequels because this one's gonna be a tough act to follow. And like I said, I already watched the second one, which is Beneath, which we're gonna talk about next week on a double feature. But yeah, it's a tough act to follow, man. Especially with that twist at the end. Like, I can just imagine people watching that, like, oh my god,
oh my god, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's one of the great one of the great twist endings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, yeah. Look, we didn't even go an hour. Look, 30 minutes. We already summed everything up, man. Short,
easy
sweet,
peasy.
to the point. Yeah.
It's a classic movie. What can you say? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So to everybody watching, next week we're gonna be covering the sequel. So Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and then Escape. Right, is the next one after that.
That's after it. Yeah.
So Beneath and Escape, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to talking about Beneath because. What the fuck? Yeah. As a preview coming to the next week, I'm just gonna say cocaine's a hell of a drug. Whoever wrote that was on some serious mushrooms or something.
Yeah, my preview for that, I will say it's my least favorite of the classic ape movies.
Really? Okay. Yeah, it goes out.
Yeah, all right. It's out there. Yeah.
All right. So wrapping it up, you want to plug your channel in, Rob? Let the folks know what you got coming up.
Yeah, sure. So I just dropped a video today on a story of a cloistered nun, which is a drama, a historical drama about a woman who's forced to become a nun. And then, like many nun-sploitation films, it's got some fun elements to it, like lesbianism and a little bit of torture, and it's kind of like a women in prison film where all the prisoners wear those nun habits. So it's a fun movie. Yeah, you can check out my review that just came out today.
Nice. Okay, well, to everybody, I'll put Rob's link in the description there. So as you're watching this, after you watch this, make sure you click the link, go to check out Xploitation Reviews. All right, give them a like. Subscribe and all that stuff. Tell them I sent you. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm a fan of your channel, bro. I mean, I don't comment all the time, but I definitely do be watching. And you cover movies that I've never even like, dude, what the hell is this?
Like, where did this come from?
Where did this come from, man? But I love it because there's no other channel that I can think of that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So you're definitely doing something different on YouTube by talking about those films. So yeah, great job on that, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
it. Yeah. As far as myself, let's see. Last video I dropped was for Ghostbusters. I almost said Afterlife. What's that? What's it called? Frozen Empire.
Yeah, I heard not great things about that one.
It was all right. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just nothing special, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched your video yet, but I watched Q. He dropped a video review of it. Yeah, a day or so ago. He wasn't such a fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I watched Q's video also, and I actually inboxed him. I said we totally agree, 1000%. Like he pretty much felt the same way I felt about it. You know, there were dope moments, man. Like the beginning opened up really strong, it ended really strong, but everything in between was kind of a nothing burger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's that subplot, like you said, with the Egon's granddaughter and the ghost that kind of brought the movie down big time. But I mean, it's still worth the watch, though. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Is it good is it good for like kids? Like.
Yeah. I took my 9-year-old to see it. Yeah, I took my 9-year-old to see it, and 8. He's 8. Damn, I can't remember my own son's age, but yeah, kids will like it. Yeah, I think kids will like it. You know what I mean? Cool. I probably will put it behind because, of course, you can't top that first Ghostbusters. So that's always number one to me. And then I would say Afterlife is after that. And then I would say this one. And then I'll put Ghostbusters 2 dead last.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like Ghostbusters 2. I think that one is too harshly criticized. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of them. I mean, yeah, but just ranking them, I would put that at the bottom. You know, I had fun with it too. But yeah, like because the ghost busting in this movie was like, you know, this new one was incredible. You know.
Okay, cool.
But just some of the writing, I'm like, this is not too good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah. So I dropped that video. I dropped that Friday, and I'm also planning on working on another first time watch video. So I've been showing my son different, historical sports figures that he's never even seen before. So I showed him Lawrence Taylor first time watching Lawrence Taylor, and then Shaquille O'Neal. So this time we're gonna do Mike Tyson. You know, he's never seen Mike Tyson before.
They're like
his highlights, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Highlights, yeah.
So you weren't watching like one of Shaq's movies, yeah?
Hell no.
No, okay, good.
Probably only movie I would ever probably show him is Blue Chips. Blue Chips is probably the only good movie he was ever in.
So what would he do? What was it, like Shazam or something?
Yeah, Kazam and
Kazam, right?
Kazam, Steel.
Steel, yeah. Some weird choices. I mean, Shaq's like a super cool dude, so but even he's not charismatic to say those things.
Yeah. I mean, he's what the funny thing about it, Shaq is a funny guy. He is charismatic, but his voice is just real, like, I can say the funniest thing in the world, but I talk like this. I don't change my tone. That's just how it is. I always take pauses between words that I say. I'm like, dude, just talk.
Just say the line.
Just say the line. Oh man. Yeah, so that's all I got coming up, and also Godzilla versus Godzilla Kong that drops Friday.
Right.
I'll be checking. No, I want to know what you think about there's a movie that dropped this week called what is it called? It's a horror movie, man. But I thought about you when I saw the trailer. I said this is something that you would probably review on your channel if it was made a long time ago. It's called the something Late Night with the Devil, I think it's called.
Oh yeah. I just heard about this thing like today, I think. Because I think Mike had a video on it. He said it was like a must see.
Right.
And then so I might have to watch this thing. Yeah. I don't go to the movies a lot, but that one sounds like I need to see it. Yeah.
I thought about you. I said this looks like it's out there. it's weird. I said, yes, this is a movie Rob needs to check out.
Yep. Yeah. It sounds like my kind of thing. Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about you last week actually because I watched Copland. I'm like, oh, it's Rashad's second pops. It's Sly.
Yeah. Yeah, underrated. You know what? I need to cover that on the channel, bro. That movie is criminally underrated.
Movie. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think timing is everything, though, because at this time, Sly was trying to come back. You know what I mean? So Sly had made like Judge Dredd and The Specialist and stuff like that. So his career was kind of going downhill. So he wanted to switch it up and show people like, hey, I'm actually an actor. Remember, I did Rocky. So, let me show my range as an actor. And I just think audience didn't want to see that. They didn't want to see Sly playing an overweight sheriff who's kind of, has a disability,
Right.
Yeah.
Which is too bad because his performance in that is really great.
Really great.
And that whole cast, I mean, like Harvey Keitel and Ray Liotta. I mean, there are just so many great people in that movie.
De Niro.
Robert Patrick, De Niro. It's just full. Like every scene is like awesome.
Right. I gave you a chance to be a cop and you blew it.
You blew it. Right, exactly.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, I haven't thought about that movie in a while. Yeah, I need to cover that for the channel, man.
Yeah, you should. Yep.
Yeah, Copland's very underrated.
Yeah, I bought it at the local DVD store that I go to every once in a while. And then I remembered like, oh, I really like this movie because I watched it like when it came out and liked it a lot. And then I don't think I had seen it since then, but it holds up really well. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Again, yeah.
Nah, definitely. All right, so everybody, thank you for everybody that's tuned in that checked us out. Appreciate it. And Rob, this is fun talking the Planet of the Apes with you because I have nobody else to talk to about it. That's why I had to go live, bro. I do this because I'm like in my area, I'm like the only nerd here. And when I try to nerd out, people don't understand me, man. So I need people like you. I
get it.
I need people like you as an outlet to just let it all out, man. And
let it out. Appreciate it. Yeah. I will salute your nerd flag. Yeah.
Thank you. Even my own kids like, Dad, you're such a nerd. And I'm proud of it. Proud.
Yeah. I have managed to turn my kids into nerds as well with some stuff. So that's
right.
Passing it down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, my son, because my son's 8, so I have more influence over him. But see, I had my daughter for a while, but she's 18 now, going on 19. So she's like, surpassed me in everyththing pretty much. So it's like, Renee, you want to go check? Dad, no, I don't want to see that.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I still have 2 more years. My daughter's only 16, so
yeah. Oh yeah. When he gets around that 17, 18 mark, you're gonna be like, "Who are you? And what have you done with my daughter?"
Exactly.
What happened? All right. Well, Rob, I appreciate you coming through, man. And until next week, man.
Happy to be here. Yeah, next week. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So this is Rob for Xploitation Reviews. Rashad G signing out. See you on the next video. And now the awkward silence while I end the stream.